What's going on, everybody? Finally back again. And this time I want to do a contest entry for, oh, hello, Herc. This is Hercules. Kind of got distracted. Oh, want to do a contest entry for Poor Man's Comics. I'm newer to his channel. I probably watched about 4 videos, and they're all super cool. And then I know you just did a video for Joker68, who's got some medical issues going on with himself and his family. So I wanted to, Joker, if you see this, I wanted to second what he said and tell you that miss you, man, but I know you got a lot going on. So I look forward to whenever you can get back. But no rush. Take care of yourself and your family first. So anyway, getting back to the contest. So go lay down there. Go lay down. Lay down. Contest entry, take 2. So, all right. So again, new to your channel, cool channel, and I look forward to seeing more of your content. The contest, I think, ends this weekend, so I want to get this in tonight and say that, yeah, I think it's a cool idea. First off, I want you to show your top 10 pickups for 2018, which is kind of easy for me. Besides some full run of grooves from Pacific Comics and a lot of independent comics, I didn't really start collecting heavily again until this year. So most of what I have is from 2018. And I'm just going to start out with, for my top 10 pickups of 2018, this is kind of the comic that got me back into collecting again. This is The Punisher #1. This is from the first ongoing series. There had been a 5-part, I think, limited series that came out the year before. And then in 1987 was the Punisher ongoing series, and this is #1 for that. Love the Punisher, my favorite comic book of all time. And the comic that got me into collecting back in, gosh, 88, 89. I wished I'd never stopped or gave away my collection. And some others. I'm going to do some single issues, and then I'm going to do some trades and graphic novels. Judge Dredd #1. This was another cool pickup for me. And yes, I did get into Judge Dredd because of the band Anthrax, and I'm glad I did because it's a great, great comic. This is #1 on Eagle Comics. This is the first appearance of Judge Dredd in an American series. A rather new title, which I don't have a lot of. Most of my stuff is just kind of going back to when I was younger and recollecting everything. But I did pick up this A Walk Through Hell #1. And yeah, I'm waiting on 2 and 3, and I think 4 just came out. But man, Garth Ennis, one of my favorite writers. Love this so far. This first issue, smoky. Another one of my favorite comics when I was younger that I'm going back and recollecting, and I really collected Valiant comics heavy, early 90s. Bloodshot Zero. And then you'll see a lot of these are from the same time. Have Shadow of the Bat. And this is an unopened #1 with collector's items. Came with a 3-dimensional Arkham Asylum pop-up, 2 Brian Steel Freeze posters, a blueprint of Arkham Asylum, and a special edition bookmark. Alright, now let's get into some trades. Another Valiant title that I was big into is Magnus the Robot Fighter. I'll tell you why I'm into trades so much. Trying to go back and catch up on the old stories so you can read the new stories. It's a lot less expensive getting trades than getting single issues. And so, plus you don't have to, it takes 10 minutes to read a comic. With a trade, you've got more reading in one edition. So I think it's cool. I was a big fan of the Punisher War Journal, which also came out. And so I got this trades. It collects the Punisher War Journal 1 through 8, including his first interaction with Wolverine back in the day. And then the greatest graphic novel of all time, Batman the Killing Joke. I had first print of this back in 90 maybe, 91. I forget when it came out originally. So whenever this first came out, a buddy of mine got it. I borrowed it. I was like, holy cow, what a great story. And it's so unexpected. You know, for those that hadn't read it, I don't want to say too much, but what happened in it, you're like, what? I've never had anything like this with Batman before and the Joker. So a more mature story, I'd say. But like I say, and ended up trading it with my Watchmen graphic novel. And, oh man. So anyway, I did pick up this year. It's a deluxe edition hardcover. Then, lastly, Lock and Key Master Editions. This is number 1. Each Master Edition contains 2 story arcs. Blown away by this series. So glad I picked this up, but it sucks that it's over. So, and I just got this a couple weeks ago. This is Master Edition number 2. So, these are great. If you like scary. Alright, so those are my 10 favorite pickups so far 2018. I don't really go for collecting comics, like spending a whole lot on one comic. And then, you know, I think the most so far I've paid for anything is probably a Walking Dead omnibus, which was about $30. But in terms of single issues, I don't really collect a whole lot of those. I'm more into getting a lot of the old comics that I'm familiar with, that I kind of grew up on, and then trying out some new stories. And I really think trades are cool. I know a lot of you like the single issues, but I'm a big fan of the trades. You can just sit down and you have more reading without having to stop. And then it's kind of like Netflix. You get a whole story arc usually in one book instead of having to wait, like if you were watching regular TV and had to wait until next week to find out what happened. You could binge, read the whole trade, and get the whole story arc. Alright, so that's it for that. In terms of bargain bins, what I recommend, I've seen a lot, is independent comics. Some of them aren't collected as heavily, and so they're not, they may have like, $2 or $3 cover price, but they're not as well known. So more than likely, if they have a decent print run, they'll have a lot left over that end up in the bargain bins. I've been lucky. I found a few Punishers in there, and a ton of Valiants. I've mentioned before, I can't believe that Valiant prices didn't go up. I just think they were so well done, and the stories were so awesome back in the day when they first launched, that it's hard for me to believe that that they're still $2 or $3 each. I mean, I think I might have paid $5 or $6 for some of my Valiant Zeros and Ones. So I haven't spent a lot of money on Valiants at all, which is awesome for me. It just surprised me, but I'm glad I can still get them for cheap. So I see Harbinger, Exo Man-O-War, Bloodshots, Solar, Man of the Atom, bunch of dollar bins all day long. And boy, I pick them because I love those stories. So I recommend Valiant titles, Punisher titles in the bargain bins, and independent comics, because some of them are really, really well done. They just don't get the recognition, or the sales that some of the bigger comic book companies get. That's my video, man. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, great channel. Look forward to learning more about you and your collection. And just keep being awesome. And we'll talk to you all soon. Farley out.